encouraging word to you from Psalm 22. Psalm 22 is the psalm that starts, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from my cries of anguish?" It's the psalm that Jesus quoted on the cross, which is appropriate in this time of year, I imagine. I want to note that David was the man after God's own heart. David was the man who, throughout the scriptures, is displayed as the one who is running after God. And for David, it was much more of a concern that God had forsaken him than the particular circumstances in which he found himself. He wasn't upset because he was on the run, or because he was poor, or because he was displaced by his son, or whatever else among the circumstances happened to be attacking him. He was concerned with the nearness of God. Why have you forsaken me? Why are you far from me? His heartbeat wanted so much to know that his God was with him and for him. And then after those first couple of verses, there's a description of what could very well have been crucifixion. He could have felt like that. It could have been prophetic, looking ahead to Jesus. It could have been just that David really felt that way, and Jesus in a much greater way felt that way at the cross. But there's a description of crucifixion that really hits home when you read verse 16. "Dogs surround me, a pack of villains encircles me, they pierce my hands and my feet, all my bones are on display. People stare and gloat over me, they divide my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment." And then he comes back to, "But you, Lord, do not be far from me. You are my strength. Come quickly to help me." How appropriate it is for us to remember this, and to remember that Jesus quoted it on the cross. But what's super cool about the psalm, and the reason Jesus probably said it on the cross, is the declaration that David ends with. David ends Psalm 22 after all of those terrible verses about all of the suffering from the suffering servant. Verse 27 and beyond, "All the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations will bow down before him. For dominion belongs to the Lord, and he rules over the nations. All the rich of the earth will feast and worship. All who go down to the dust will kneel before him, those who cannot keep themselves alive. Posterity will serve him. Future generations will be told about the Lord. They will proclaim his righteousness, declaring to a people yet unborn, he has done it." The "he has done it" carries the same kind of weight that Jesus's "it is finished" carried from the cross. God has done it. When God looks at your timeline, he has already delivered you. He has already put to work those processes that bring about your salvation, not just from sin in an ultimate sense, but from all your sins in a natural sense. He's got you. He has sent Jesus to deliver you from sin and death so you can live in that reality today. God has done it. Through the suffering and death of Jesus, you can live knowing that God's got you. And that's an encouragement for today.